Hey, good evening. Happy pre-Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and welcome back to everybody who was in my chat earlier. I did not plan on going back live tonight. I'm trying to fix my little hair. But some breaking news just happened in a case that I was checking on the other day. Oh, have you, Miss Ego Vibes? Man, this is crazy. I don't know if you caught my live the other day, which was actually yesterday, on my other channel called The Hood Table. I don't know if you're subscribed to my other channel called The Hood Table, but please, if you're not, make sure you check that out. It's The Hood Table, D-A space H-O-O-D space table. The Hood Table. And I'll also put the link in there. That is the YouTube channel for me and my friend, who I call my sister. We're sisters from another mister, and we have a channel called The Hood Table. But we was talking about this last night over there, and talking about, other cases, other things going on in the news. But this one right here really hurts. And we was just discussing just last night how everything this man was saying just doesn't make sense. It just didn't make sense. Let me put in my link to my other channel. The Hood Table. Okay, so I'm about to put the link in there right now. So make sure you guys go over to the Hood Table and make sure y'all subscribe over there, because once a week I'm on the Hood Table with my sister friend Samantha. And if you want to catch our review on this subject that we did last night, go to the Hood Table and check out the video over there. You said, hey Kalua, you said it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, and I'm so glad that he finally got arrested. And so basically, for those of y'all who might not have seen the breaking news, he has been arrested just a couple of hours ago. He's been arrested for tampering of evidence, basically of a body. That's what they're saying, tampering of evidence because of a body. This little girl, and she's 4 years old. I think I put 6 in there. Let me change that. 4 years old. Let me change that. 4-year-old Maleah. It's so sad. And the story that they found, Hobby Money, they didn't find her yet. I don't know if they're going to find her. I'm hoping they will find her. I'm hoping he'll confess and he'll say where the body was dumped, because he should know right now. He should know that he was one of the main suspects in this whole situation. Like, the lady had lost her kids already before. The baby, she had suffered a lot of head trauma, brain injuries, and the story that the mom and them was telling the hospital and the CPS and the police, it wasn't making any sense. My thing is, they said it wasn't making any sense. The police and them said it didn't make any sense. But CPS gave her kids back. They gave her kids back this February. So she been having what? February, March, April, May. It's what? May 11th. May 11th. My mother's birthday. Happy birthday in heaven, Mom. It's May 11th. And the baby ain't been back in the home for not even a half a year yet. And then she disappears. And that BS story that the boyfriend told, I'm so frustrated. This is just crazy. And like Samantha was saying on the Hood Table channel the other night when we was recording over there, about this specific issue, this subject, Samantha has said this just reminds her too much of stories about women who be with abusive men, and they know they are abusing their children, but they continue to stay with them and then cover up stories when the child gets injured or when the child gets hurt. You said, I don't care, I believe he did. Yes, he did. They found blood in his home, in his apartment. They found blood. Blood evidence. They found it in his home. And that blood is linked to Maleah. So the DNA points to Maleah Davis, his stepdaughter, 4-year-old Maleah Davis. The little girl who has been missing. He had that story that he told. I mean, we had stated last night on our show. That story is unbelievable. It don't make sense. He had something to do with it. It just didn't make sense. Like the fool gonna try to say, he gonna try to convince people that at 9 p.m. at night, he heard what sounded like a popping noise. He thought it was his tire. So he gets out of his car at 9 p.m. at night to check the on the highway. Sorry, to check the tire on the highway. While he's on the highway near Highway 59 and Greens Road, he said he heard a noise, pulled over to check the tires. While he was out of the car, he said he was approached by some Mexicans who were in a
breaking overnight. A woman hit and killed crossing the street in North Houston. This happened on Tidwell just after midnight. Police say the suspect hit that woman and kept driving, and say there's no way the driver didn't realize what happened. Police believe the suspect was driving a white SUV. Meanwhile, 2 people are in the hospital.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out where the sound came from because I had so many screens up. My bad. But yeah, so he was telling them, some Mexicans pulled over. They knocked him out. He was unconscious from 9 p.m. to 6 p.m.
People in one Heights neighborhood are demanding change after one of their neighbors was hit and killed helping a man in a wheelchair cross the street. Alicia Adams and that man died after a driver slammed into them a week ago.
I'm just closed all my screens because different videos is popping up on my screens making sounds in the background. But yeah, so from 9 p.m. to 6 p.m. he was unconscious. He said he was in and out of consciousness, but around he came 9 to 6 p.m. 9 at night to 6 p.m. the next day. And then he said when he was there was a point when he was waking up in and out of consciousness, and he said he was in a truck with the 2 kids, and then he dozed off again, or went unconscious again, and then when he woke up again, finally fully woke up, his 1-year-old son was there, but his 4-year-old stepdaughter Maleah was missing, and then his car, he said his car was stolen. Y'all, now I know y'all got common sense just like I do. So I know that story. I know the police. I know nobody believed that story. They were just waiting on some kind of evidence, and they finally got some kind of evidence. So I'm glad he was arrested. You said I didn't believe it then. I don't believe it now. Thank you, Hobby Money. You said more bad news, man. This world be getting crazy. Man, Kalui, this little girl been missing for a minute, and I'm so glad she's been found. Masego said, he is so dumb. I really hope this one does not cause any discord between us and Mexicans here. We've seen it for the show. I agree, Masego. I agree. I really hope it doesn't. But nobody believed that. We was like, come on now. We really hate to be stereotypical. I always say this. I try not to be stereotypical in my lives. But some Mexicans stealing one black kid and leaving another black kid. I mean, anybody. Come on now. Anybody. White, Puerto Rican, Spanish, African. You steal one little kid and you leave the other little kid. And then you leave the parent alive. It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. But I think the mom knew something all along. And then she finally, I guess after being pressured and stuff, she finally told the police. She didn't tell the police when they first when the baby first went missing. She didn't tell the police then that she had broke up with him and she had called the engagement off and everything. She didn't tell them that. Now, don't you think that's important information that she should have told the cops? Y'all just broke up. He's mad. He's angry. They probably had a fallout. They probably had a disagreement, an argument, a really bad one. And she didn't tell the police that part. This whole thing. And then the fact that the little girl had surgery after surgery on her brain over the last, year because of trauma to her brain injuries. And they couldn't give no good excuse. The mama told them that the baby 4-year-old. She was 3 years old when this happened, but she fell out of a chair at a dining room table where she was eating by herself, or a kitchen table where she was eating by herself. And she got up and walked over to her mom, and she noticed a gash in her daughter's head. You fell out of a chair at the dining room table eating. I'm like, dang, was the table like 15, 20 feet high from the ground? Make it make sense, mama. Hold on, y'all. I gotta take something out the oven. For y'all who was on my live earlier, y'all saw me making a cheesecake. I mean a carrot cake from scratch. And I just finished making the cheesecake. I just pulled that out the oven because it's a carrot cake cheesecake for somebody for Mother's Day tomorrow. And then I have to get started on a banana pudding cake before the night is over. But it didn't make sense. No friggin' sense. Thank you, Masiko. No friggin' it didn't make no sense. No sense. And I'm like, I remember one time my son, the oldest one, he had rolled out the bed. And he was like, I don't know, maybe 8 months. He had rolled out the bed. It was an accident. He rolled out the bed, fell on the floor, started crying. I went and got him, kissed him all over. You know, woo, 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 woo. You know how you do your babies, comfort your babies. Rocked them back to sleep, put them back in the bed. And wasn't no gashes, wasn't no bruises, wasn't no brain contusions or no concussion or no gashes in the head. So we talking about a 3-year-old that fell out of a chair. A 3-year-old. Babies, the brains are very, very, very sensitive to touch. So you do have to be careful with them. But a 3-year-old falling out of a chair at the dining room table and got a gash in her head and brain injury and brain trauma. This lady has been keeping something from the police, from CPS, and now her daughter is missing, and now she's on TV crying all on the ground, crying because her baby is missing. And this is what happens when you do not protect your children. Like me and Sam was saying last night on our live on the Hood Table channel, our other channel, I said, I will die trying to leave. I will die trying to escape. I will die trying to protect my kids like a mother bear, like a mama bear. I am so your mama bear, like all day, every day. I'm not going to sit there and let somebody beat and abuse, molest, rape, torture, verbally, physically, mentally, anything to my children. Not my mama, not my brother, sister, cousin, daddy, uncle, teacher, coach, nobody. I'm that mama bear that do not play when it comes to their children. Like, for real. Do not play when it comes to their children. And I'm like, I can't believe this. I can't believe CPS gave her children back. And she ain't even had the kids back for a few years. They need to take the rest of them kids back. They need to take them all back. Put them back with some family, because they were with family members. When they took them, they gave them to family members, and then they decided to give them back. I don't know what happened to make them believe that. And just like Sam said last night on our The Hood Table channel, she said usually 9 times out of 10, when a parent, like a stepdad or parent, is abusing a child, they're abusing the mom as well. They're abusing the mom as well, or you know something. You cannot be in your house and not know that your child is being abused. I mean, kids cry. And this little girl, she's light-skinned. She's like a little lighter than me. And I know she probably bruises easily. And you up there, I don't know how she hurt. I don't know where she got the brain injuries from. You be knowing. Sure. Thank you, Miss Sigbo. I'm telling you, I do not play when it comes to my kids. My sons used to hate that and love that at the same time. They used to hate that and love that at the same time, because sometimes I would go ham and eggs and grits, and my sons be like, Mama, calm down. It's okay. It's okay. We got this. We got this. We got this. Like, let me tell y'all a little story. Now, this has nothing to do with abuse or nothing like that. But just recently, like a couple of weeks ago, my son was working for this guy who was contracted to do work for somebody else. And because the guy kept giving my son this excuse, he can't pay him this week. This week he's short. Next week he's short his money. The next week after that he's short his money. Pretty soon this man was owing like almost $1,000 to my son, and my son was going to work for him every day. I would tell him, son, make that man give you money. Mom, he said when they get it, he'll give it. When he get it from the people he contract through, he'll get it. He'll pay me. And I said, are you keeping track of like how much you owed and stuff? He said, yeah, Mom, we text all the time. And he tell me, I'm short this week, but I'll pay you back next week. I'm short this. I mean, it just kept going on and on to the point where he owed my son almost $1,000. And then one week my son didn't get paid at all. And he came home so burning up, mad, like ready to beat walls and everything. I'm like, what the hell wrong with you? What happened at work today? Somebody had a bad day? And he told me, he said, I didn't get no money this week, Mom. He said, my cell phone bill is due. My car payment is due. My da-da-da. He was just going on and on and on. And of course, I'm not going to let my sons go broke. So, of course, I said, whatever you need, I'll help you. Whatever bill you got, I'll help you. And we worry about the rest later. He was like, no, Mom. He said, nope. Just, he said, as long as I got enough gas to get in my car, because I'm going to apply for another job Monday. I said, okay, well, all right. Anyway, he had got another job. And then a couple of months, I say about a month went by, and he's still calling this guy every single day trying to get the money that he owed from the last job. The man keeps giving an excuse or not answering his phone, not returning his text. I'm like, okay, you need to call the main company. You need to call the boss. You need to come call somebody, because he owes you money, and that's illegal. You were working for free. I mean, that's all kind of, I mean, come on now. He can be shut down for that. His company can be shut down for that because he's breaking labor laws. My son was like, Mom, I'll call him again tomorrow. We was driving one day. I'm trying to hurry up with this story. But we was driving one day, and he was calling. He left him another message. And I said, he still ain't returning your calls? He said, no. I said, put him on the phone. He said, but he not answering. I said, call him back. So he called him back, and I said, put me on speakerphone. And when I tell y'all, I went smooth the F off on this man's voicemail. This was like a month or so ago, and my son is 22, and I went smooth the F off. I was like, if you don't pay my son his boppity beep money, and you got 2 days to pay my son money, I'm calling everybody. I'm calling the Better Business Bureau. I'm calling Channel 7. I'm reporting you to this. I'm calling the IRS. I'm calling, because you was breaking labor laws. How you got people working for free for you 8 hours, 9 hours a day, and then you keep continually owing them money, and then the week they get paid, they don't get no money? And they got all kind of bills paid? I went smooth off. My son was sitting there holding the phone like, I know he was thinking, oh my God, this man is never going to pay me my money. I know he was thinking that. I'm like, we going to sue you. We going to get our family attorney. I was just going off. Why? 2 days later, the management company called my son and said, come pick up your check. It didn't come from the guy who owed him. Somebody else cut my son a check. Okay. That's just one incident. There's one incident where I will go loco when it comes to my kids. And I told my son, don't you ever let that happen again. When somebody say they owe you money and it's a job, and they don't pay you by the next payday, because there are times when you be working. I done had that happen to me before, and the hours got messed up, and HR said, okay, we can pay you next payday, but if it's like a certain amount, like if it's really a lot, they will just cut you a check. You don't wait 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, 2 months, and your job still owe you money. But you know, he's still young. So he hasn't worked that much, throughout his life. But I bet you he learned a lesson that day. He learned a lesson that day. And I was like, show me the check. I want to see the check. I made sure it was what it was supposed to be. Okay, go cash that bitch and continue to work at your new job. I was like, But anywho, I don't care. Thank you, Janice. I don't care how old my children are. So back to like the story of the little girl whose mother had to have known that she was being abused, because she was being abused. A little baby, a little child, you letting them get beat? This child was getting abused to the point where she had to have multiple surgeries on her brain. And the mother talking about she fell out of a chair. But CPS, they wrong as hell. They wrong as hell. They gonna get the kids back? I can't. It's so unfortunate, Kalui. It's so unfortunate. And the thing about it is, he obviously knew my son probably didn't know. I mean, my son's really smart. Both of them really smart. The youngest one about to go to college, full ride, scholarship and everything. They smart. But it's just, when you young, there are a lot of things you do not know and you might not understand because you haven't lived life long enough as an adult. And kids still around the age of 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, especially if they still stay home in college, mom usually takes care of the majority of things. So if he wouldn't have told me what was going on, I would have never known, and he probably would have never got his money, because I told my son, I can guarantee you that man probably and most likely, most definitely has done that to somebody before and has probably been getting away with it and might be lying, talking about he ain't getting paid from the people that he's contracted through, just so he don't pay y'all and be shorting his employees that he hires. We don't play that. Nope. And he was scared. I know he had to be scared. When I started mentioning the IR to the S, the government, Uncle Sam, Better Business Bureau, an attorney, a lawyer, and then cussing him out. I mean, I think I made up new curse words that day. I honestly think I made up new curse words that day. And I know my son was like, oh my God, I'm never going to get my money back. My mama going to piss this man off, and he probably going to be like... But I told my son, if you don't get your money back in a few days, we going down and we going to press charges. I told him we was going to the police. I'm going to the police. All that. I was going to file charges and everything. We was going to do that. But, yeah. But this fool, his whole story didn't make no sense. He got knocked out 9 p.m. on the side of the road by some Mexicans. They put him in their truck. He woke up, looked around, fell back out. Woke up again on the side of the road. His car was gone. The 4-year-old was gone. His 1-year-old son, his son was there. But yeah, they got his butt, and he's facing 20 years right now. And that's just for tampering with evidence. That's just for the tampering with evidence of a body, because they found blood in his apartment. They also have him on camera carrying a basket of laundry, and the laundry that he was carrying, it looked like covers and stuff. They stay in an apartment where I'm sure there's a laundry down facility in the basement. They might have laundry hookup, I don't know. But he happened to just be carrying a basket of clothes right before she was missing. Then the car that he claimed was stolen, either by the Mexicans or by a UFO, and left him and his son, his 1-year-old son, on the side of the road. Y'all know this story was BS. Y'all had to know it was BS. A 1-year-old on the side of a highway for almost 24 hours. You think that 1-year-old gonna be still sitting in the same position while their parent is passed out on the side of the road? A 1-year-old can walk, if not a lot, a little bit. A 1-year-old can roll, a 1-year-old can crawl. It's not making sense. And then his car was missing when he woke up, when he came out of that, concussion. And then they seen him on camera getting dropped off from that very same car at the hospital after he said the car was stolen. This man is in all kind of hot water, and I hope his mama is too. But she's putting on a show, y'all. She's putting on a show, all on TV, all on the news. She putting on a show, falling all out, screaming, "Where's my baby? Where's my baby?" I can almost bet that she also knows where that child is. I can almost bet that she also knows where that child is. That's just what I think. That's just what I think. I could be wrong, but that's just what I think. Now y'all can tell me what y'all think, but yeah, he woke up way in Sugarland. And then he talking about his car was stolen, but then days later, they find evidence of him being dropped off at the hospital in the car. So now they're trying to find out who was driving the car and who dropped this man off. And they also found lighter, did they say, no, gasoline and bleach, Clorox, something like that. She knows. I believe it, Janice. I believe it. She knows. And they need to both be, they need to both, you know what? Something happened years and years and years and years ago when I was a little girl. Something happened here, and it was in the projects years and years ago. Y'all might not even remember this story. Y'all might have never even heard of the story. But there's this man named Asa Carter. A-S-A Carter. C-A-R-T-E-R. He went to prison years ago. He was married to another lady who was like the godparent of a little girl. Once upon a time, she was babysitting a little girl. And I don't know if her and her husband had issues before in the past, if anything ever happened with any other children in the past with them. But this one little girl that she was babysitting one evening, they were all going to bed, and she put the little girl in the bed, and the man started telling her that he wanted to be with the little girl. Yes, you heard me right. She puts up a fit. This is what she claims. Allegedly in the court records. This is what she claims. Now this story is really close to me because the guy that I'm referring to is one of my relatives' father. So really close to me, but I'm not going to give out any names of my relatives or anything like that. They don't have the same last name as the guy or anything like that, so you can't easily connect the two. But she put up a fit talking about, how you gonna want to be with her and you got all this, how a woman would probably act. But see, if a man would have told me that, if a man would have told me he wants to be with my niece, my goddaughter or daughter, the child was like 7, I would have that would have been the end. You nasty freak pedophile. That would have been it. Anywho, she gets upset and leaves the house. And leaves the girl in the house with her husband. Really smart, right? She leaves the house. When she comes back, hours later, the man is panicking. He's in an uproar. He's running around the house, screaming, crying, cursing. She's like, "What? What's the problem? What's wrong? What's going on?" He's like, "She's dead. She's dead." She's like, "What you mean? Who's dead? Who's dead?" "The little girl is dead. He done killed the little girl after he done everything," and I'm not even going to say, just imagine, after he done everything to every part of this little girl. Everything to every part of this little girl. I'm just going to leave it at that. You can look up the story if you want. Asa Carter, Omaha, Nebraska. Murder. Matter of fact, he went to prison for life. He ended up dying in prison from cancer. He ended up dying before his time was before he even served his entire sentence. He ended up dying, which was probably karma, most likely. But yeah, she left that little girl in that house. But that's not the end of the story. She didn't call the cops. She helped him discard the body. She helped him discard the body. They took up the mattress, the sheets, everything. They cleaned up the bedroom, bleached everything. I mean, whatever you do to clean up a crime scene, that's what they did, and dumped the little girl a few blocks away in a dumpster. And then the lady going to call the girl's mom hours later talking about, have your daughter been home? We can't find her. We think she left in the middle of the night. She was saying she wanted to go home. Whoop, 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 whoop. And the mom was like, no, she never called. She never came home. Why would a 7-year-old go home in the middle of the night by herself? And if she did try, we know why, right? But that didn't happen. She was dead. Later, the police found her in a dumpster. They found the evidence, pinned it on the man, pinned it on the woman. He got life. She got, it wasn't even that much, y'all. This lady, I don't even think she got 10 years. She left that child in the house after her man said he wanted her. And she just left. Now, my mind makes me think that she knew there's a possibility that something was going to happen to her godchild with her husband. But she left. And that brings me back to the story of this little girl, Maleah Davis. Her mom probably knows something. Her mom might even know where the body is. But we shall see, y'all. We shall see. You said the one who threw her shoe out the window. You said yes, she did. I'm so mad, Roxanne. I'm so mad. And my relative, she hated him for a long time. And then finally, years later, when she found out he had cancer and was dying, she wrote him a letter. And it was a really sad, sincere letter. And told him she forgave him. But she still can't believe what he did. You know, she forgave him. She had to forgive him. She knew that he was dying, and she had to forgive him for herself to, you know, try to get through it and try to get past it. But yeah, that was crazy. And the lady knew. She knew. She helped cover it up. She helped get rid of the body. She helped clean up after the scene, and was probably going to carry on her life with her husband still married to him. As if nothing happened. As if nothing happened. I believe she should be in jail still to this day, but she's out. She been out of jail. But it's sad. There is nothing nobody could do to make me allow them or ignore them or turn the other, you know, and allow my child to get abused by anybody. I don't play that. Yeah, she should be in jail for withholding information. Yep. And wasting all them resources. Yeah, that's the thing. Wasting all these resources, these cops, these detectives, the FBI, they spend all these man hours doing investigations, calling people in, witnesses, all that kind of stuff, having press conferences, and sometimes they be knowing. Shoot. Y'all know how many missing kids there are in America? How many missing kids there are in America? And nobody knows what happened to all of these kids. I'm sorry. Some of these kids that have been missing for years in America, somebody knows something, and it's more than one person. And it's usually the parent. It usually ends up being the parents. You said some people are so ignorant when they do it, they act so prideful. Forgiveness is hard when you actually deal with it in real life. Yep. It's just horrible. It's so hard. I still think about that because I'm like, dang, that could be anybody. And that's why a lot of people do not allow their kids to spend the night over everybody's house. I'm like that even with family. Mine are older now, but they'll tell you it was like 3, maybe 4 at the most. 3, maybe 4 at the most. Homes in our family, like maybe 2 in the family and maybe 2 of their friends of parents that I knew really well, like from their teams or, basketball, football, church, something like that. But that I truly, honestly trusted where I could like bank my money that they are safe there. It was only a very few. And other than that, if somebody wanted to spend time with them outside of school or something, they can spend the night over here because I know ain't nothing happening over here. I knows it. I knows it. Shoot. And even times when I would have like my nieces or my little girl cousins spend the night and I have boys, they in my room, and not trying to say that I would think my sons would do anything, but I'm that kind of parent where I know a lot of things that happen in our family and families of my friends years ago when I was younger. Incest and stuff like that. It happens. So for me, if my little niece or little girl cousin really, really wanted to spend the night and it takes a lot for me to say no. I'm like, okay, but you gotta sleep in my room. Okay, Auntie Yaya, okay. I'm like, okay, shoot. But nope. I don't play that. I do not play that. But you said, hello, my beautiful love. Hey, Nikki Love Mukbang. How you doing? What's up? What's going on? Yep, but I'm real protective over kids. Any kids. It's not just my kids. I'm protective over any kid. Any kid. If I see your child on the street and they in a fight or something, I'm pulling over. I done it before. I done pulled over on some fights of kids that weren't mine, but they might have stayed in my neighborhood. What you out here doing? Get in the car. We going home, and I'm going to tell your mama. Let's go. And people like, girl, you can't be just stopping no kids from fighting. No. Nope, let's go. Let's go home. But yeah, I'm really overprotective over my kids and other people's kids. My nieces, my nephews, my cousins. Hey, Candace. Hey, what's up? How you doing, girl? What's up? What's going on? We just been up here talking about this little girl that's still missing. Hopefully, she will come up, though. They will come up. They will find out what exactly happened and hopefully find her. I mean, we have to hope and pray that she's still alive, but it's not looking too good. Especially now that they found blood in his apartment, in her stepdad's apartment, her blood. The DNA matches the little girl. He has told lies. He has told lies during this case. He done lied, said his car was stolen, that he was left on the side of the road, and come to find out his car was never stolen and somebody dropped him off in his own car. Much later. I'm like, like, for real. Roxanne, you said my house was the safe house. You would think so. Because I swear, everywhere we moved, it didn't matter where we lived, everywhere we moved, I would come home. This is funny, but true. We would come home from work, picking the kids up from school, whatever. We would come home no matter where we live. And we pull up and kids are there at the house waiting. Like kids from the neighborhood. Like my kids were so popular. It wasn't like they were popular, but kids knew they could be over at my house and have fun. They were safe. They would be outside playing basketball, football, riding bikes, whatever. I would have to make these kids go home. Like, it's 8, 9. Where your mama at? Call your mama. The street lights off. Don't y'all need to go home? I'm like, y'all mama gonna get mad because y'all over here. Y'all have to go home. Like, every house we lived at, kids would be sitting on the porch. I used to have to tell the kids, could y'all please not be in my yard when we gone? Just please don't be sitting on the stairs. Just please. So they would sit on the curb. They would sit on the curb and the only reason why I would tell them that, because sometimes my neighbors would complain and say, the kids, I had this one neighbor, it was an older couple, and they would complain. They'd be like, you know them kids that be playing with your kids? They be over here when you ain't home, and they be over here playing on your basketball hoop, and they be running all through the yards and stuff like that. And you know, we just don't want them all in our yards and stuff. So that's why I would tell the kids, please don't come until we get home. But still, they would be there. They would be there just sitting with their basketball under their arm, football, everything. Girls and boys on bikes, just parked, sitting on their bikes. I will always, that's something I will never forget about my kids with them growing up. And that's why a lot of their friends call me Mom. They'll see me in the street, at Walmart, wherever. Hey, Mom, how you doing? What's up? And sometimes I don't even recognize all of them. And I'm like, but I know they must know me really well. So I'm like, hey, what's up? How you doing? And then they'll all come back to me like, oh, yeah, you whatchamacallit's kid. Okay. I'll tell my sons you said hey. But, yeah, so you got to protect the kids, and not just your kid. If any kid is in your care, you should treat that kid just like they are your kid. Just like they are your kid, because they're in your care. Thank you, I'm good 78. Thank you. Whoever dropped him off at the hospital. I mean, why does it take so much for people to come forward? This is a little child. A 4-year-old. And she's so cute and she's so pretty. I mean, she has the most beautiful long hair. I mean, and you see how small she was? She's so small and petite and fragile looking. It just breaks my heart. It just breaks my heart. You said, Janet said, mine too. Go to the yup. Go to the point where they be like, Ma, can I get some water? Ma, you be over here more than I be over here. Ain't nobody fixing y'all no plates. And I would always cook, like, you know, the quick and easy meals that stretch. You know, like spaghetti, like tacos, like, you know, spaghetti is like one of the good things that can stretch. Sloppy joes. You know, I would make things that stretched. And if the kids got hungry because they over our house most of the evening, y'all come inside and eat, wash your hands, eat. All right, now y'all gotta get home now. Y'all gotta get home. So that's one thing, they parents never have to worry about the kids coming back home because they hungry. They need to take a lunch break and run back home and then come back. But yeah, she is a beautiful little girl. Beautiful little girl. It just breaks my heart. It just breaks my heart. But yeah, hopefully he'll either let them know exactly what happened, or somebody will come forward, you know. Right, I'm good 78. And then the fact that, see, this is why I said this mama probably knows something, because I will repeat again what I said earlier to y'all who just came in, who might not know the whole like story or whatnot, but they had got into a dispute, a altercation, a disagreement. They broke up. They were engaged. They broke up. When she told the police that her daughter was missing, she left all that out. That would have been the first thing I would have said. Especially if this man has put his hands on me or abused my children before. I would have said, man, we just broke up. He's probably mad at me. He's probably doing this in retaliation. He probably took her to piss me off or make me want him back. That would have just been coming out of my mouth. Like, this has got to be why she's missing. She didn't tell none of that to the police. It was days later when the police found out they had broke up. And they're like, why you didn't tell us that you two just broke up? That you... It don't make sense. It don't make sense. Not at all. Not at all. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm going to just say how I feel. I feel she got something to do with it. Or she knows something. Or she knows he's capable of doing it. And then if you knew that somebody's capable of doing something like that because they abused you and your child before, because the child did not get that brain trauma and them brain injuries and have to have all them doggone surgeries on her brain because she fell out of a living room, dining room table chair. I mean, she would literally have to jump as high as she can, hit the ceiling, bounce off the table, fall on the floor to put a gash in her head. I mean, the chair is only like, it's only so high. I mean, at the dining room or breakfast nook or whatever, a chair is only so high. That story right there didn't make no sense. Yeah, one of the main parts to the story, it didn't make sense. And then CPS takes the kids, keep the kids for months. I mean, give the kids to other family members for months. And then they felt the need, like they was like, okay, we can't prove that the mother or the stepdad did anything to the child's brain. We can't prove it. So we're going to give the child back. Give the kids back to the mother. Because they couldn't prove them injuries weren't put there by somebody's hand. You said, first of all, I'm not leaving my babies with him looking like... Thank you. You know what? I swear to God, I'm good. I swear. I was thinking that. Like, he looks like a crackhead. He looks like something's off with him. Like, something's really off with him. And you know how some people take a picture, take their mugshot pic, and they might be pissed, mad, upset, angry because they getting arrested. But no, he looked like something wrong with him. Shoot, who knows? A lot of these young people nowadays be on everything, lean, crack, wet. They be on everything, weed, heroin. They be smoking everything, trying to get the ultimate highs. Just trying to get as high as they can. Hey, Chris Brooks. I didn't understand how she was crying on TV. Thank you. See? I'm not the only one. Y'all really smart. That stuff that she was doing on TV, I was like, you deserve an Emmy. You deserve an Emmy. And she was all on the ground, beating the ground. Where's my baby? And if she really doesn't know where her baby is, again, she could have prevented it. Again, I will die protecting my children. That is the only people I would die for is my children. The only people. My mama's in heaven, so she's out of the equation. She's already in heaven. She's out of the equation. The only people that I would die for, that I would give my life for, is my children. And if that means leaving a man who is physically abusive, who has beat me and my child or threatened to kill us, we gonna die trying to get away. I'm not gonna sit there and let them suffer and let them grow up and say, Mama, why you didn't do nothing? Mama, where were you? Mama. And then they having all these issues when they grow up. And especially if it's boys, they might end up beating on women, beating on children. And if it's your daughter, she gonna grow up thinking, this is normal. How could you tell a child to not let a man hit you if you getting hit? Or if you letting them abuse your children, then you tell them when they grow up, girl, I would leave that man if he was hitting on me. How you stand with that man? Because that's what you taught them. By allowing that in your household, allowing that in your home. We gonna be fighting. Shoot. It's gonna be some hot grits flying through. It's gonna be some hot buttery grits flying through. Shoot, some hot boiling water. Put a little honey in that to make that stuff stick. Shoot, my grandma taught me a lot of stuff. She taught me a lot of stuff. That was one old lady who did not let nobody disrespect her, put a finger on her. She would break a man's whole finger off, try to put his hand on her. Nope, rest in peace, Granny. Nope. And if she even heard of somebody in our family get hit on by a man, what? What did you learn from me, girl? You got a man hitting on you, girl? What? Oh, my granny was a firecracker. She was a firecracker, and she did not play. You ain't hitting. Not Dot. You ain't putting your hands on Dot. But yeah, I hope. I mean, like I said, we can hope, and we can still believe, and we can still hope that this little girl is not dead. It doesn't look good, but we can still hope, and we can still pray for her safe return, even though it don't look good. But if if it's not God's will for her to return, then I hope that man is punished to the max. And that woman, she needs to be charged for something. Child endangerment, something. She needs to be charged for something. I don't know. But yep, you said I would rip every hair out of her head and bang her head against the wall. Mom needs her fallopian tubes pulled out through her hoo-ha. Oh, Lord. Ooh, that sounds painful. Ooh, that sounds painful. You said he might be part Chinese. Lord. Oh, I'm trying to get over these, read all these comments. You said they never produce tears when guilty. Yep. If you look at old footage of these killers, they can't produce tears just squinting. And you can kind of hear like a croak in their voice. You can hear the croaks in their voice when they trying to act like they really trying to cry. But that's it. And then their eyes might get red, but that's from them kind of concentrate so hard trying to cry. Like, they really be trying to cry, but you just can't do it. I'm like, at least cut an onion or something. Cut an onion before you go out there on TV and trying to pretend like you really are innocent and that you're really concerned about your child's well-being. Yeah, Masigo, I'm just like, I just don't want it to be. See, these situations piss me off because it's like they could be prevented. It's not the same as a child being like at school, on the playground, or walking home from school, or at a park, or somewhere, and they just come up missing, and then later we find them dead. It's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same feeling. It's not the same situation. It's not the same circumstance when the child is in your home that you're supposed to take care of and protect, and there's a violent person in the household and you are not protecting your children, and then they come up missing. It's not the same. You are not going to get the same treatment or respect or, not from me. Not from me. You're not going to get the same emotions from me. Nope. The child will, but not the parent. Definitely not the parent. You said, no, ain't no cancer. You dead today. 911, come get this dead body right now. No onion. Yes, an onion. An onion. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I will go to jail for my kids. I will go to jail. Like I said, that's the only person. The only. I got two sons that I love very much. And then the only two people I would die for, and we will die running. I'm like, kids, pack y'all stuff, get y'all toothbrush, get y'all favorite toy. We out. We outie 5. We out. I ain't, you're not going to hit me once and get away with it. You won't have a second time to hit me, and you won't have a second time to hit my child. And that's why you can't let everybody whoop your children. Like, some people be tripping. Oh, well, if your child is misbehaving, that step-parent or whoever, they should have the rights to whoop your children or spank your children. No, they shouldn't. If you don't really trust that person or you really don't know their level of discipline, then you should not let them whoop your children or spank your children. No, you should not, because everybody does not show the same love and compassion when they discipline your kid. There are some parents who discipline their kids and they do it to teach them a lesson. Then there's some parents who discipline their kids and they do it to make the children like scared of them. Like, it's one thing to respect your parent, and it's one thing to, okay, like people say, I had a fear of, fear. My mother put the fear of God in my heart. My mother put the fear of God in my heart too. But she didn't beat me like she was trying to kill me and leave me on the side of the road. You know what I'm saying? So it's a difference of your kid, having a fear for you. Like, okay, I know if I do this, I know mama might spank me. I know I might not get to go over my friend's house this weekend. I might not get to go to the concert. I might not get my allowance. Compared to if I do this, I know mama gonna leave some bleeding whelps on my body when I get home, and I won't be able to go to school for 3-4 days because the teachers might find out that my mother is really child abusing me. It's a thin line that you cannot cross. A thin line. I know somebody in jail right now, and CPS has their children because she spanked her children. And I ain't been knowing this girl since before she was born. I've been knowing this girl since before she was born. And I would hate to think that she intentionally, purposely child abused her children. But one of her kids came to school and they had a mark on them, and it was a belt mark. And she went to school, and so CPS was called, and the police came out and they arrested her and took her to jail. I would hate to believe, I would hope to think that she was spanking her kid and somehow accidentally got hit with the belt buckle. That's what I would like to think, only because I've been knowing somebody for so long. But then again, you don't always know for sure. You don't always know for sure. You don't know what goes on behind somebody's closed doors. You know what I mean? And that's why I say you cannot let everybody whoop your children. You cannot let everybody whoop your children. It doesn't. And there's a lot of people who run around worthless men because they want to be in a relationship. I see it all the time. And I'm sure y'all see it all the time too. And you know who it be mainly? Mainly it's the ones that's on social media talking about, oh, this is the love of my life. He loves me so much. Look what he bought me. Oh my God, he got me flowers. Oh my God, I'm so in love. Oh my God, there's nobody else on this whole entire world that I would rather be with than him. Oh my God, it's them people. That's usually off camera. They getting beat, or their man is abusive verbally, physically, or mentally. He ain't working. He's sitting on the couch all day with his hands in his pants, eating up all the baby's food stamp money, and just being a bum. That's just being a bum, because when you see them in real life, that's what they're doing. And it's crazy because I have witnessed stuff like this. I know people personally, and I see them out in public, be over their house. The woman doing everything. And the man ain't working. He ain't doing this, but he driving the cars and spending up the money. But they be the first one on Facebook. Oh my God, I love him. He's the best. He's the greatest. And I'm looking like, and I'm sure other people who know the real deal be looking too like, if this heifer don't get off Facebook trying to make it seem like... I mean, trying to look like Michelle Obama, like she's so happy in her relationship, like her man is all that. I'm like, what the hell? Come on now. Just a horrible son trial for search of the childhood, I guess, running behind a work permit. Yeah, okay, I read that one already. Sapphire should have been charged with suspicion of murder. The mother should have been charged with evidence tampering. She should have told what she knew in the beginning. Yeah, because if your child is missing, you're going to tell everything that you know. There is nothing off topic. When it comes to my child, if they were missing, they going to know everything I did in the last year if they wanted to. They going to know what my poo looked like in the toilet, what I ate this morning, what time my alarm clock went off, how many pieces of bread is left in the bread sack. They gonna know every minuscule thing going on in my life if my child was missing. And if me and my man just broke up and had a fight and an argument and he just walked out and my daughter's missing, yeah, they gonna know all that. So for her to keep that important information from the police, that threw up red flags right there, along a slew of other things. Oh, hey, Miss Hall, how you doing? A lot of serious topics on YouTube tonight. Oh, yeah. It's a lot of things going on. Oh, yeah, Chris Brooks, you said it. They living their best life on Facebook, IG, and YouTube. Yep, we have to parent. You have to. You cannot just raise a kid. You have to actually parent a kid. It's a big difference. It's a big difference in raising a kid and feeding them every day versus parenting that kid. And parenting a kid, meaning you are there, you are involved in all areas of their life. You know who they hang out with. You know who they on the phone with. If they underage, you are checking their phone. You are checking their messages. You are in their inbox. You are in their IG. You check their room sometimes randomly. That stuff that some people say, I don't go in my child's room because of privacy. And so what? I pay all the bills. And so what? You know, that's their room. And bye. Bye, Felicia. Bye. I wish my kids would tell me not to go in their room. Not to check their phone. Oh, Lord. Oh, my God. I have my youngest son is probably in bed right now. I would call him in here right now and tell him, when the last time I checked your phone? And he would say like 2-3 weeks ago. And he's 18. And the only reason why I checked it was because his dad told me to. Because his dad pays his phone bill. He pays almost that $100 a month. He buys him that $1,000 phone every 2 years when a new one comes out. I don't pay that phone bill. But still, yet, randomly, I would check his phone. All while they was growing up, I would check phones. I would check their rooms. I would check their dressers. I sure did. Sure. Nothing private in my house. Thank you. And we all got locks on our doors. They got locks on the inside of their door. If they changing clothes, things like that, they can lock their door. But other than that, ain't no doors in this house should be locked. But the front door, the back door, the garage door, and my bedroom or the bathroom. If I try to come in your room and the door is locked and you ain't in there changing clothes, what you doing? What you doing? What you doing? Shoot. My youngest just turned 18 and his dad told me to check his phone because he's getting some kind of weird messages on his phone and his dad pays his bill. So he said, I need you to go check the boy's phone. I checked it and he didn't even know what I was doing. I just asked for his phone. I checked it. I went through it. I looked where I thought I should look, and all that. We got the same phone actually, so I know how to kind of use the phone. And I called his dad and I said, I ain't seen nothing. He's like, okay, cool. All right, and we just went on life. My son got his phone back. He said, Mom, y'all always think I'm doing something. Y'all always think kids be hiding something. I'm like, we never know. We never know. Sure. That'll make you, slasher chick. You know what? Y'all know how some people's kids slam doors? Like they get mad at their parents and they slam doors. I think I had one of my kids, I think it was the oldest one. I think he tried to slam a door when he was about, it was really young. Maybe 7 or 8. Maybe 7 or 8, and he slammed the door. And I took the door off the thing. Well, I didn't take it off. I had somebody take the door off. That was the last time he ever slammed the door. And I would walk past the door like, hey! The door ain't on the hit. No door at all. Hey! What you doing? It's really drafty in here, huh? Now when you change your clothes, you got to go all the way to the bathroom and lock the door to change clothes, huh? But that was the last time. I'm like, don't you ever slam no doors in my house because you won't have a door. You will not have a door. Missy L. Hey, Missy L. You said, what does it take? Hold on. Let me go back. I wasn't paying any bills as a child. Therefore, what was in the house belonged to my parents, right? Yep, I agree. And my kids know can't spend the night until you are much older. Yep, I agree. And a lot of parents are like that. When they think that their child can fully explain something that happened to them, that's when they feel comfortable allowing them to spend the night over other people's houses. And I that's a good idea. When my kids were real young, they only spent the night at my mom's house. When they got a little older, to the point where they could talk and stuff like that, and make, sentences out of things and, comprehend more, then I would start letting them spend the night over people's house. But it was just a few. It was only like about 4 people that I was comfortable with them spending the night over. But still, yeah. Like I said, my sons will tell you, all the time I would inquire about anybody bothering them, anybody messing with them, anybody abusing them, anybody mistreating them, randomly. I would ask them all throughout their life. I was on that. You said get you some stretch food. Missy L, you said, what will it take to wake our people up and help them see we are so much better than allowing mess in our homes? I'm not perfect, but I'll be doggone if I let some strange man. Right, I'm not perfect either. There's no perfect parents. None of us. We'll never be perfect, no matter how much we try, no matter how many books they put out or how many TV shows they do about it. There will never be a perfect parent or a perfect child. We guys got to do our best. We just got to use good judgment and common sense and that sixth sense. That sixth sense that makes you feel like something ain't right, and you have like the bubblies, or you get like butterflies, or you get like your hair stand up on the back of your neck, or you can't sleep at night, you can't eat, you just feel like something is wrong. Sometimes we have these signs that tell us something is wrong with our children. They might not tell you, but we have these signs based on how they sleep. Are they all of a sudden wet in the bed? Are they all of a sudden not trying to eat? Are they all of a sudden messing around in class more than often, not doing homework, don't want to go to school, don't want to go over a particular person's house? Or they acting strange when a certain person comes over your house? There be signs there. Usually there's signs there, and we have to key into those signs. Even with family. Yep, even with family. Yep, you are right. And privacy is a privilege. You are right, Slasher. You are so right. Yep. But yeah, I just wanted to bring y'all the update on that, because as soon as I saw it, I was like, thank you, God. Thank you, God, because I have been feeling this whole time that this man has something to do with that little girl, with his stepdaughter. I have been feeling some type of way about this story. So I'm glad that they arrested him, and I hope and pray they find out really soon what happened to little Maleah. So y'all make sure y'all keep her family in your prayers, the ones who are really concerned about this child. The ones who really love and are concerned about this child, please keep them in your prayers and pray that her body comes up, whether hopefully alive, but whether dead or alive. Find out what happened so this man and whoever else might have been involved can be charged and face the most severe penalty. I can't even talk. Penalties by law. Ooh, I'm getting tired. I think I'm getting tired. And I ain't going to bed no time soon. I'm about to get off of here because I have another cake order I have to do for somebody. A banana pudding cake that I have to do. I have my cheesecake cooling. I'm about to throw that in the fridge so it can chill overnight. And my carrot cake that I made for somebody, that's about to go in the fridge too. But yeah, I got to get started on this order because I have to get up and go to church in the morning. And before I go to church in the morning, I have to decorate the cakes that I'm working on so they can be ready after church when somebody comes to pick them up after church for their Mother's Day dinner. So anyway, you guys, thanks for chilling and talking with me tonight. I know it's late for some of you guys. If you're on the West Coast, it's still really early for you guys over there. But let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. Is there anybody in here I didn't speak to? I hope there's nobody in here that I miss. I always try to make sure I speak to everybody. I'm just going back checking. Yeah, okay, I think I spoke to everybody. I think I acknowledged everybody in the chat. I love when you guys comment in the chat. I hate doing lives and nobody says anything. It's like, hello? Anybody out there? especially when you see the numbers and you see people are watching you, but they don't want to talk. Like, if you don't want to talk about the subject at hand, you can still say hi, hello, I'm here. I'm sitting in the back of the church, but you got an amen from me. So thanks to everybody participating in the chat this night, and for everybody who was watching and tuned in tonight. Thank you guys so much, and thanks to everybody. Special thanks to y'all who have been running my playlist, because y'all know my year for my first full year on YouTube excuse me, is on June 6th. So I think I'm down to like 1,200 hours now that I'm trying to get a watch time before June 6th. So thank you, a special shout out. I appreciate you guys, the ones who's been running my playlist. Some people run my playlist all night. I'm not saying you got to do that, but some people run my playlist. They might not fully be watching, but they have it in the background and they listening while they doing other stuff around their house, or playing it while they're driving, or playing it while they're at work. So I appreciate everybody who is trying to help me get monetized. Again, June 6th is my year, and after your first year, when you're trying to get monetized, YouTube or Google, they'll review all your videos, make sure everything is everything, make sure all your hours is valid, all your views, all that kind of stuff, so you can get monetized. So again, thanks to everybody who's been helping me do that. I appreciate all of y'all. I appreciate everybody's support. And don't forget, you guys, once a week, we're on our other channel called The Hood Table. The Hood Table. That's a collaborating channel for me and my friend Samantha. We was just over there last night. I'm going to put the link in here again. I just put the link in there again. It's The Hood Table, DA space HOOD space table, TABLE. So make sure y'all subscribe to The Hood Table, because that's where we collaborate, me and Samantha, once a week. And it could be on any topic, from kids to something going on into the news, or we talk about all kind of stuff over there, and we always give y'all a tale from the hood, from something we've been through growing up. So make sure y'all all go over there, please, and thank you so much. Thank you very much. And in the meantime and in between time, you guys, good night. Have a blessed Mother's Day. A blessed Mother's Day tomorrow, you guys. And in the meantime and in between time, stay safe, be blessed, and I'm out. Deuces.